Welcome to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Mark. Got my co-host, Luke. What's going on, man?
Man, happy Christmas Eve. It's a
happy Christmas Eve's Eve.
Yeah.
A Christmas show and a win. The Grizzlies are now 2-0 when Ja plays. Caveat, they're 2-0 when Ja plays. No, don't tell anybody. No one will know. But the Grizzlies took on the Pacers last night. Got another W for their troubles. Win 116-103. And we'll talk about that on today's show. We'll talk about our stats monster. We'll talk about a little Christmas stuff. The Grizzlies also have a game over the weekend as well. Tomorrow. 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 They play Atlanta tomorrow. So for the Hawks. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. Got a great show for you guys, so stick along for the ride. Thoughts on the game last night from you, Luke?
Man, my first initial thought is how they, the second half, the third quarter in particular, how they just kind of did their thing. You know, like it was a close game, I'd say, the first half, but that third quarter, man, I don't think a single Pacer had a positive plus minus. Like we've done what we have not really done all season, where we come out at the second half. You know, like we were the bully in the second half. We did not get bullied as it's happened in the past, and it was just really nice to see that happen.
Yes, we were not the little bitch, as Luke is trying to say. That's what he's trying to say.
Trying to be nice. Yes,
that was a third quarter reminiscent of third quarters in the past, just previous years, not this season. That was what that was reminiscent of. I will tell you this: that is the lowest scoring game all year the Pacers have recorded. 103 points is the lowest points they've recorded all year, thanks to the Grizzlies defense. So, we talked about on the show yesterday about stopping that offense, and obviously the defense having to step up, and they really did. I mean, obviously, getting out to a 20-point lead and blowing that lead and getting back to 2 points in the first half is not ideal. No. And that was a little concerning, and that actually reminded me of years past, because they've done that in previous years. It's all the time. They would do that last year, where they would get out to like 20-point leads and like, we're bored. Like, we want to do it. Like, let's do it again.
We'll keep going.
Let them catch back up and then do it again, because we're got nothing else to do here.
What we do.
So that was actually maybe that's a job thing. I don't know, but that was actually something they have done in previous years. So, but the defense definitely stepped up last night. They did a really good job of limiting their points. Let me look how many field goals they had last night. Field goals had 90. They averaged 96. So they did a really job of just limiting the field goals. And I must say, I was just thoroughly impressed at how little the Pacers do not give a shit about rebounding. I mean, thoroughly, they just do not care. I mean, the only time they get offensive rebounds is when they miss the three so badly that it clanged out to them to the 3-point line. That's the only time they got offensive rebounds. But they are totally in that offense scheme just saying, hey, look, we're going to score more points than you. Period. End of story. And we're not going to get rebounds. We're getting ready to run is what we're going to get ready to do. Which is it's an interesting kind of scheme. I mean, it obviously has worked some, but when you're missing shots like they did, and the Grizzlies made it very difficult for them to make shots, then the game plan really falls apart. But yeah,
I mean, and they were shooting the three ball like we have been in terms of like shooting. They've had 52 attempts and only made 18. That's not good. I mean, and the Pacers are showing that they're on pace for pace. They're on like a historical pace offensively, but that's it. They're incredibly one-dimensional, and if you can stop that, they're toast. Like Halliburton may be good, but what else is this team if they can't score? If you can clamp them and keep them from scoring, what else they got?
They only average 38 threes a game, so 52, well above their. That's a lot of threes. That's more threes than I've seen in a game in a long time. Grizzlies shot 35, 16 to 35, which is a good number for them. We're shooting 45%. And it does wonders when Ja Morant's back. And he, at one point, several times he had 4 defenders in the paint with him, and Ja Morant can, choose his person to pass it out to for a wide open 3. There was a stretch, I think, maybe that was in the second quarter where they just weren't hitting them, like, where it's like, well, this is going to be the game plan. If this is going to be the idea that Ja's going to get to the lane and pass out for open 3, like, you got to hit the open 3. Like that's how that works. If you keep missing them, this is not going to work. And the shooting came back around for them. So, but there were times where there were 4, sometimes all 5 defenders in the paint next to Ja Morant, and Ja Morant had three people out there to choose from. And I think Desmond Bane doesn't know what to do with all the open looks.
No, he doesn't. God,
he was 11 for 26 last night, 5 for 12, 31 points still. But I just don't think he knows what to do with all the looks. He's like, I'd rather people guard me, I guess, because he's so used to fighting for open looks for the first 25 games. He's now surprised every time he gets the ball. He's like, there's no one here. Please, someone guard me. This will make it easier for me. Oh, man.
He played so good last night. I mean, like, last night's Dez, I think, is what, once he gets comfortable, I think that's what we can expect. I think that's the Dez we're going to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I think that, that it is just a, I really do think it is just I'm open and I kind of adjusting things a little bit here and there. But the big 3, the Grizzlies, big 3, Jaren, Desmond, Ja, all looked great. 31, 20, 21. Fantastic from them. Like all around. I mean, I talked about on the show yesterday, there's no reason why you shouldn't get 70 to 75 points from your big 3 every single night. And that's not something that's happened before with this team.
No,
there's not been nights where on a consistent basis where you're getting 70 points, at least 60, but more likely getting 70 points from those guys every single night. I'm not sure what's changed, but that's something that's never really happened before.
I mean, it's got to be, we were talking about it early in the season. Like, the hope was that Jaren and Dez were going to learn from these first 25 games and that they were going to be able to step their game up. And so far, I'd say, like, in the past, we were able to count on 50 points between the 3 of them. It's like one of them would always not hit. But the past 2 games, man, it's like 60, 70 points between the 3 of them is a good.
I mean, you're getting 75 points, 70. If you're getting 70 points from those guys, it just makes winning a lot easier. I mean, this is getting, a lot of times you're getting 70% of your points from 3 dudes. Yeah, that makes winning a lot easier. I mean, it takes a lot of pressure off your other guys where they don't have to score. We're not coming on the show saying, "Oh my God, Vince Williams scored 2 points." That's not going to help you, right? It's like, well, I guess he really didn't even score 2 points, right?
He played defense.
His defense on Halliburton, and I think that's a good segue. Talk about Tyrese Halliburton and Vince Williams Jr. Sean Coleman had an excellent piece today. If you have not gone over to the site at bluffcitymedia.co, please do, because Sean Coleman wrote a piece on Vince Williams' defense with videos, with detailing every bit of. I was reading it before we just started the show, and it was so good. I almost texted Sean like, "Hey, can you come on the show?" Like, I know this is last minute, but can you come talk to us? But I'm sure that was probably a no go. But it was such a good piece, such a good article. Sean's extremely good at this game. So if you haven't already done that, don't pause the show, finish the show. But when you're done, go read it. It's really good. Vince Williams Jr. is here to stay, man.
Yeah. Convert that 2-way at the end of the season. Convert it.
I don't know. I mean, he was not good on offense last night. It's 1 for 5, 0 from 3, missed all of his open threes. He has taken. I'd like to venture to say that he's taken most of his threes as corner threes.
Mm-hmm.
And he usually makes them. I mean, he has been making them at a pretty high clip so far this season. I have to look and see what his actual percentage is. It is, let's see.
Yeah, he only had 2 corner threes last night, and
it's 30. He's shooting 37% from 3. Taking 3 threes a game, making a little over 1. So, but that's, I mean, again, we talked about this before. You don't really need a lot from Vince Williams offensively, right? No. As long as you're making the open threes when Ja's driving, if you can get 6 to 8 points from him every night, I think along with the defense, I think that's all you need. So
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see what happens when Marcus Smart comes back. Obviously, Marcus Smart is going to slide into that lineup, which will be on Saturday. He'll be back. And then you'll get Vince Williams off the bench. But, man, Vince Williams has made a real case for himself in terms of being a real NBA player. I mean, he's taken on the assignment of the best players of every offensive player the last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and has really made them – it's been good.
Yeah.
Has made life difficult.
It sucks because it does seem like the casualty of it is Roddy to a degree. I mean, Roddy's minutes have just gotten lower and lower and lower and lower, it kind of coinciding with the success that Vince has had. But I mean, Vince is just playing better. Like we don't, like if he's good for 1 or 2 corner threes here and there, and if he's just playing better defense than Roddy. And Roddy's a good defender, but he is playing better defense than Roddy. He has been all season, and it's like it sucks that Roddy's the casualty right now. I mean, should it be Jitty? Like it does seem like Jitty's getting more minutes lately, but Vince is playing the best best defender out of all of our bench guys right now.
Yeah, I mean, David Roddy's going to offer you kind of the same amount of offense, but he won't offer you nowhere nearly the defense and the basketball IQ that Vince Williams Jr. offers, and that's the difference, right? The bench guys last night: Santi, John Conchar, Xavier, and Zaire, all good. Xavier may have been a little bit, pedestrian. John Conchar was good last night. I mean, he was good. 6 points, 2 blocks, assist, steal, 6 rebounds. Like, was good.
2 threes.
And 2 threes. I mean, Santi 13 points, had the alley-oop from Ja.
Santi and Z, man, they play so much better with Ja. The two of them specifically play so much better when Ja is on.
Yeah, I mean, Zaire plays much better with. I mean, obviously, it's not shocking that you play better with a superstar next to you, right? Like, that's not a shocking thing. But 16 points, I mean, like much better, so much better. 6 from 9 from the field, a rebound, assist, steal, block. I mean, or two blocks, excuse me.
Santi and Z were 6 of 9 from 3. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was huge from them. Again, getting those just, and it's not a lot, right? It's not like it's a lot, but it's 13 points and 16 points respectively. You can say it's 6 from 9 from 3. Like, that's not like a ton of things, but it's incredibly efficient because they're taking wide open threes. And it's all you need from those guys. And that's kind of the thing all year long. You don't have to have a 20-point game off the bench guy. You just need 9-10 points, right, from those guys every night. It's just got to be consistent. And that's what we talked about. The consistency is the problem. And so I thought all those guys were really good last night. Even Xavier Tillman with only 5 points, 5 rebounds. I thought he was good in his minutes. He played 20 minutes. So, but you said seriously shortened rotation. Nine guys is all they're playing right now. David Roddy's odd man looking out, which is fine. I guess that was probably always where he was going to be anyway. I think. I don't think he was going to get the minutes that he was getting. I don't think he was going to get any minutes in this roster this year. That was where he was always going to be. I think
he was going to be a break in case of emergency type of guy. From the get-go. And granted, he'd been playing well when we were playing him, but he was our last, no, I don't want to say last option, but he was a third option,
Yeah. He, and then obviously Bismack Biyombo was pretty bad.
We're going to have to do something there, I think.
He just has bricks for hands. And he's like so unused to someone throwing a little pocket pass where he like fumbles it. And he's like, oh my God. He's just like, he's so shocked that Ja's passed him the ball when
every
he does.
time.
I'm like, Ja, you gotta just stop passing him the ball. Like, he's like, I don't understand why you don't just dunk it either, right? Like, I don't understand why you just don't dunk it.
He had the least amount of minutes last night. He only played 16 minutes.
So much so that I think that, if you get Marcus Smart back, or when you get Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard back, maybe you can bump Xavier Tillman back in the starting lineup. And maybe you can play Xavier and especially if he's going to play, if Xavier's going to be, or sorry, I'm so sorry. If Xavier's going to play as good as he does with other, less pressure. If you have Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard back, those guys are going to take a lot of the offense. Like, he doesn't have to do anything but really just play defense, rebound the ball, just like we're asking Biz to do, right? So, maybe that's something you can do. But the Bismack Biyombo thing, he did not look good last night. Now I would say probably the only guy that didn't look good last night was that you could say, hey, this is not a good game. Was Bismack Biyombo? Like you said, 16 minutes. So,
and that's 2 games with Ja where he hadn't looked good.
It's 2 games with Ja where he is surely shocked and amazed that he's going to pass. And he fumbles it. And he's like, oh my God, what is this brown thing? And then once he does pass, he's like, I'm going to pump fake 18 times and then I'll maybe dunk it. Jesus. And so, they're going to have to figure that out. You weren't on the show yesterday, but talked about Brandon Clark, coming back at the All-Star break. That'd be like that'd be like trading for Brandon Clark at this point. That's kind of how that is in the middle of the season. And so maybe they just, if that's really the case, and if that is really something that the team had thought about happening, maybe they just wait and see, or maybe just wait and see. They just because then if you don't got to waive, you have to waive anybody right now to fit.
Yeah, not right now.
Clark on the roster, even then you don't have to waive anybody him to come back. He's a part of the roster.
Oh yeah, he's already on the roster. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, so you don't have to waive anybody to get him back. But I just think that maybe that's just a wait and see type of situation, or maybe that's a package business contract to salary match or something else. I don't know. But I do know this. They do need. I still think they need to make a move for a front court guy. If they think that Steve-O is not their long-term person. Yeah. If they think they're going to come back next year and Steve-O is going to be back and he's going to be great and all those things, maybe that's a different story. But I think making a move for a center is not just about this year. I think it will be about multiple years in the future.
Where are you looking? I know it's kind of off topic, but Detroit's got a lot of bigs.
Yeah, we talked about this before. Detroit's got a lot of bigs. I would probably look at Detroit, Portland. Both teams we're looking to rebuild, looking to kind of get some assets. Those are probably would be my 2 number 1 teams to look at in terms of just they got the players. They'd be the most likely to want to move off the players, and then they're the people that want assets. They're going to be rebuilding. So that poor Pistons team is down. It's down real bad.
Yeah, man,
real bad for those guys.
I do too. It's rough.
I don't think we've ever been a part of a losing season that bad, but we've had some bad ones in this city, in recent years. But man, that's a tough way to go out.
Yeah.
But back to the game. Sorry, Pistons fans. No Detroit. Well, we won last night. Sucks to suck. No, I'm just kidding. So the Grizzlies take on. Let's talk a little bit about this Atlanta game. We will get to a break and we'll do our stats monster next segment. Or do you want to take a break and then come back, or what do you want?
Yeah, let's take a break. Let's do a break.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll do the Atlanta game next segment. We'll do the stats monster from last night as well. We got 3 guys who were pretty equal to choose from. So I'll tell you who my prediction was from yesterday, and then we'll talk about our Christmas plans in our last segment of the show.
I am highly upset, man.
Oh, man.
ESPN, you dastardly dogs you. Last week had us feeling good. They picked the Grizzlies to be first in the West with about 48.5 wins. And what a difference a few days makes.
What a difference.
You put out your list of the top 100 players in the NBA. Desmond Bain jumps in at 61. Jaren Jackson Jr. comes in at number 31. Jaren's top 25 to me, but if you all right, whatever. I think that's a little slight to Jaren. Desmond Baines is disgusting, in my opinion. Then we get Ja Morant, All-NBA player, 2-time All-Star, one of the most dynamic offensively players in the NBA, Ja Morant. That guy was number 35 on their list, Kenny Stubblefield. The same people that said the Grizzlies will be the first team in the West. They're going to get that done with just some regular dudes.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Just curious, you kind of talked about the transfers and things like that. How has that changed your mindset from a roster management standpoint? Incredible recruiter. All the classes, I think we had 2 back-to-back and 21 and 22 top classes. How does that change with the transfer portal? Do you start focusing more on upperclassmen? Do you kind of get away from the younger freshmen? How does that work?
Yeah, so I still believe in our coaching staff, the way we do things, and developing guys. And that I will never get away from that philosophy. We're still going to recruit a high school class. Now, there's a lot of colleges out there that say, screw this. We're pushing all the chips in on this roster, win right now, and we'll figure it out. Sure. And if it doesn't, right, it implodes and bad things happen. But I think you still have to bring in true freshmen and develop them and see what they can become. And that I'll never waver from that. But the portal certainly changed things.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind, a daily show where we talk Grizzlies every single day right here at 9 a.m. live with you guys. If you're not already a Bluff City Media Insider, this is your time to go do it. It's $5 a month. You get access to all of our Discord channels, our Discord platform, where we're always chatting up in there, always something going down in there. You get access to our insider articles. You get access to our merchandise, 20% off of that all the time. We just launched a new merch site like a week and a half ago, maybe. It's bluffcitymerch.com. You can go there. You can go to our site, bluffcitymedias.co, and link it there as well. Tons of new stuff. And as a media, as an insider, you get 20% off all this stuff. So it's $5 a month. So it's super cheap, super easy, and super affordable. If you can't do that, just go subscribe to the YouTube channel. That really helps us out. Really lets us do all the shows that you guys see on the channel. And there's something for everybody. So let's get back to the show. Before I get back to the show, though, speaking of merch, every day we've been doing a deal of the day. You get something for 50% off. It's an item. It's 50% off all day. We're doing this until Christmas. So there is today, Christmas Eve's Eve. Well, Christmas Eve's Eve. And Christmas Eve's Eve. And Christmas Eve. That's the only days left. So today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's it. So check those out. We will release them usually after this show is when I put them out about 10 o'clock every day. It's 50% off. So check them out. Be on the lookout for them. And make sure you get something cool. So obviously they won't come in time for Christmas. I feel like that's a caveat I have to say. Someone will be mad at me. Like, I bought this shirt for my dad and it didn't come until January. I'm like, yeah, well,
he said it was half off.
This was 3 days before Christmas. All right. Stats monster from last night. Who you got?
Man, I'm going to go Jaren. I know I'm going to ignore the 7 turnovers. I don't know how he turned the ball over that many times, but he was 80, 50, 100 shooting splits. And that's pretty damn efficient. And I want to see more of that shooting. I just think Jaren's been shooting the ball a lot better, in general, like when he takes his time, especially with, I don't know how many times we're going to have to say with Ja being back, everyone plays better, but Jaren's a much more efficient version of himself with Ja on the court, and I think we saw that last night.
Yeah, we can just say, hey, from now on, everybody's better when the superstar.
Everybody's better.
Like we can just that's a blanket statement. We don't say it anymore. It's just like something that we don't have to go through. We don't go through the process.
Nope.
So last night or yesterday, my prediction was Jaren for the stats monster because I thought he'd have some attention off everybody. I was going with Jaren. I want to say Jaren because I want to be right. That is what I want to say, but I'm actually going to go Zaire Williams.
Nice.
As it is, I'm going to go off book, off script, and go Zaire Williams and give him some love. 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3. Like I said, just a rebound. I'm okay with that. 2 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, and 16 points. But the 3 for 4 from 3 is what I like the best.
Really good.
It's the best game Zaire Williams has had all year. The best game he's had all year. Hopefully we'll continue to get better. All that 18 minutes. And 16 points, 18 minutes, incredibly efficient for Zaire. That's it. Again, it's his best game. And that's really all you need from him. It's not like you need him to. You don't even have to have 16 points from every night. Really, truly.
No.
To be effective out there on the court. And I didn't think he was a defensive liability. And I thought he's had defensive struggles almost all year long. And so I did not think he was a defensive liability. So I thought that was something that was really impressive for him. So shout out Zaire Williams for me. The certificate's in the mail. Hang it up with all your other trophies and awards. Hopefully it's not the only
third all rookie team award that we also sent you in the mail.
Exactly. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not the last time you get the Stats Monster Award for this year, because we do hope you get more of those. We would make us feel good. Let's talk about the Grizzlies and the Hawks. Hawks on Saturday. The Hawks are currently 12-15, 10th in the Eastern Conference. If you look at their stats, and we won't spend too much time on this preview because it's almost exactly like the Pacers.
Yeah.
They are third in the league, whereas the Pacers are first in the league in points, and they are 27th. Or excuse me, they are 28th in opponents' points per game, whereas the Pacers were 29th, and they are fifth in pace, whereas the Pacers were third in pace. So, like, it is
so close.
it's and the preview is like, well, can you guys, if you guys go back, watch yesterday's show.
Yeah, same thing.
All the information we talked about there before applied to Saturday, and that's
like. There's. Do you think I think we're gonna win. I mean, I the way. If we can beat, man, if we win Saturday and then we win next Tuesday and head into Denver 4-0 on a 4-0 streak with Ja, that's gonna be big, man.
We talked about 4-2 before
4-2.
What we were looking for, or in December, 4-2 in December, and they were all on their way. I will say this: the Hawks shoot a lot more threes than the Pacers. You have Trae Young shooting 9 threes a game. You got Bogdanovich shooting 8 threes a game. You got
he's playing good. Bogdanovich.
Yeah, he's a noted Grizz killer.
Yep, 6th man of the year of this year, maybe. He's playing real good.
Dejounte Murray shooting 6 threes a game. Sadiq Bey shooting 5 threes a game. Resurrected his career. Bey, shout out to him. I always liked him as a player. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys shooting over 5 threes a game, and DeAndre Hunter shooting 4.8 threes a game. So they are getting threes up like crazy.
They rebound a little bit better than Atlanta or than the Pacers.
They do rebound better. They are not of the mind to just let every rebound go to the other team. 13th in rebounding, whereas the Pacers were like 29th or 28th. They were pretty low in terms of rebounding. But the amount of threes they shoot, they get 37 threes a game, 8th in the league. Their percentages, they shoot 38% from 3. So you have a lot of guys who are shooting really well from 3, and that is, that's the game is predicated on mostly 3s, whereas the Pacers, the game predicated on mostly 2s and getting inside the lane. This Atlanta team, their game is predicated mostly on shooting from 3 and shooting at a high rate and making them at a high rate. So that's a little bit of a difference. They don't, again, their 2-point, their interior shooting is pedestrian in terms of the amount of shots they take inside. It's very average. It's like 16th in the league. So that's something to look out for. That is the bit difference of terms of, they're so good offensive team. They just take a ton of threes. So
they make a lot of them too. It looks like they're top 10 in terms of percentage as well.
Yeah, they make a lot. They take a lot. They make a lot. They are very good at that. And that is why they score so many points. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys averaging double figures.
Damn.
And we talked about the threes. They got like 5 guys averaging, above 5, taking 5 threes a game. So it's just, Trae Young shooting almost 40%. DeAndre Hunter shooting above 40%. Bogdanovich shooting 41%. So the Grizzlies are going to really have to run them off the 3-point line, really, and get them to collapse and drive into the lane into the help defense of Jaren. If they can do that, they got a good chance.
Man, like, it's interesting. It's their defense, I guess. It's interesting that all that offense ain't translating to any wins for them, because I do feel like when I watch the Hawks, something ain't right. And I like Quinn Snyder. I think Quinn Snyder's a good coach, but it does seem like something is off. I don't know what it is, but it does seem like, even though their offensive output is out of this world, similar to the Pacers, at least we know the Pacers don't play defense. I don't know what's going on with the Hawks.
Yeah. I mean, their net rating is 0.3. So there's not a lot of margin of error for them in terms of how many points they score and how many points they let in. So I think for them, they have to just tighten up the defense. They have to be able to play better on the ball. I mean, they allow interior scoring at a high level. They're 27th in the league in 2-pointers interior getting points scored in their paint, right? So their opponent's scoring. They are pretty high. I mean, sorry, they're average in terms of letting 3-pointers go in, but their biggest thing is just letting people walk through the lane. It's the same thing that we saw with the Pacers. That is very similar in those two teams, that their defense just has to tighten up. I think, again, the Pacers is the same thing. If they could play like a semblance of defense, like even just like a remote part of any kind of defense, doesn't have to be top 10. You're just talking about, hey, let's just get to be average defensively. Then the wins still really start to stack up for those two teams. I think that's just, I think for the Pacers, it's a system thing, right? They have just refused not to do it. For Quinn Snyder and the Atlanta Hawks, I think it's just maybe personnel, maybe just bad luck. I don't know. I mean, I'm still watching a lot of Hawks games, but I do think Quinn Snyder's a good coach as well. So I don't know, but they are really struggling on defense right now.
And who's their starter? Jalen Johnson's out, right? Is he hurt?
Jalen Johnson is hurt right now. Yep.
He's playing real well. I mean, so who are they going to start? They got Trey, DeJounte, Sadiq Bey, maybe DeAndre Hunter, and Clint. Oh no, they'll start Clint Capella, I guess.
Yeah, they'll start Clint Capella. I think it's Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter, Sadiq Bey, DeJounte Murray, and Trey Young is what I think their starting lineup is. And they got off the bench.
They got a Kongwu. I mean, they got a good backup center too. A Kongwu's good.
Yes, he's very good. Yeah,
very good.
It's going to be. I do expect the Grizzlies to win the game, because they're playing so well right now.
And their defense is specifically.
The defense is playing much better. Again, this is a game that they just played against the Pacers, and so it's a very, very similar scheme of what they're going to the game with. Right? It's different personnel, right? But it's very similar in terms of what they want to do defensively. In terms of their defense, it's a little bit different scheme wise in terms of what they want to do. In terms of what they want to do offensively, it's very similar offensive scheme for them, not defense, but it's very different. It's a little different in terms of closing out shooters and forcing them inside the arc, right?
Yes.
With the Pacers, you were kind of happy to let them shoot threes because they are not a fantastic 3-point shooting team. So that's a little bit different, but it's very similar to what you just played. So I would expect the Grizzlies to win this match.
Yeah, I mean, and it's. I think that I don't know. I think we're gonna have a good little backcourt, like a feud. Dez and Ja versus DeJounte and Trey. I just could see that them. I see this being a game that they want to continue making a statement. Like, hey, we're a good team. We were just without our superstar, and I'm with you. I could see them slapping the Hawks in the mouth a little bit.
Yeah. All right, great. Let's take another quick break. We'll be right back. We'll finish up our show for the day. Our last show before the holidays. We'll be right back.
Seth Hennigan just still. He
doesn't look himself.
He just doesn't, in the big moments, he's not making the plays that have to be made. If you look at the raw stats, they're not terrible, but the 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
And he fumbled twice. They didn't lose those fumbles, but 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions, one of them coming at a terrible time on a 4th down late in the game when Memphis really needed to put points on the board. But I just don't think Seth is playing well enough to elevate this team.
Right.
I think he's playing well enough for Memphis to be fine. But as far as for them to do something special and to elevate this team, he's just not playing like that.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Kenny, there are certain guys in the NBA that are enigmatic players. They're going to be appealing to a large fan base. But when you have guys like that who, like Ja Morant, who have off-court issues he's had, Kyrie Irving has had the things he's had, the NBA doesn't particularly like the fact that those guys are larger than life. If I'm the NBA, if I'm ESPN, who of course are working together on all this stuff, I'm going to start telling you who you need to like. And it's going to be a different type of guy to kind of play off of the guys that are going to be there anyway. Let me put these squeaky clean image guys that we want to put in front of you up there as well to kind of counteract some of the stuff we get with the guys that we don't have any control out of. So let me put the Tyrese Halliburtons in front of you. Let me put the Shai Gilgeous-Alexanders in front of you, the Josh Giddeys. Let me force these guys in front of you, not particularly on national television games, but let me just kind of create these little sub agendas with these guys to kind of make them those second tier stars that we're gonna like put out in front as well. Like, they're doing this on purpose, man. Like, if anybody can't see this, like, come on, man. Do not sit there and tell me that you really think that Tyrese Halliburton is a top 20 player in the NBA.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind at Daily Memphis Grizzlies Show right here on Bluff City Media. Make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube channel. I promise you there's something for everybody. There's a tons of shows over there. If you're a Grizzlies fan, if you're a Tigers fan, you're a soccer fan, you're a national sports fan, whatever it is, you got plenty to choose from. So go check that out. It's going to be a Merry Grizzmas indeed. What are your plans for the weekend, Luke, and for the holidays? Tell me. I must know.
So I am spending time with my mom and my siblings, my family, for the Christmases. And then I'm going for New Year's. Me and my lady, we have like a family and friends kind of New Year's Eve thing where we get a big cabin for like 20 of us and we just hang out and celebrate and play music and watch basketball and just chill.
That sounds awesome.
I'm really excited for New Year's.
Yeah,
you want to? You want to?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. I'll have to bring 5 kids with me though. You might not want that.
That is okay. There's gonna be kids up there, so that's fine. We'll just put them in a room and close the door.
There you go. Yeah, we have a pretty good Christmas trend, traditions over at the King household. We have certain things that we do on Christmas Eve. We'll spend Christmas morning with the kids, and then we go to my parents in the afternoon. Yeah, so it's a lot of family time, a lot of hanging out, a lot of video game playing and basketball watching and princess making and Taylor Swift having and all the things, man.
Taylor Swift having.
Yeah, man. Like we have, we gotta have Taylor Swift dance parties with the girls, all the
Sounds
at
awesome.
least once a week, where we just hang out and watch Taylor Swift and dance. And so they love it. So it's a time to really enjoy the family. So I for one appreciate it. This show is just a few months old. It's been great doing it so far. We'll be able to continue it through all the way through next year. It'll be continue to grow and get bigger and have more people join us and watch the show. So shout out to everybody who has joined us so far. We appreciate you watching. We will be off next week. We are taking the whole week off to enjoy time with our significant others and our spouses and our families, and so we'll be back. That will be like right around New Year's. We'll be back. Yeah. So I'll have to look at the schedule, but it'll be a week or so before we're back. We'll be around on drive safe though. Be careful out there over the holidays. As always, if you need an Uber, tweet me or Luke will come pick you up.
Yeah,
just don't drink and drive. Just don't drink and drive. So
don't do it.
That's it for the show today. You guys have a good one. We will see you next time.